Hello, welcome back. I'm Tonya from Tonya's Witchy Kitchen, and how are you doing today? My husband and I, a few years ago, quite a few years ago, took this marriage weekend retreat thing. Okay, I'm not going to tell you which one it was. There's a few of them out there, but okay, it was intense. It was very intense. And we actually ran into a couple we kind of knew from our hometown. Like, God, how can they have marriage problems, right? You know? Of course, my husband didn't think we had marriage problems either. So there stems that. Sometimes it's, you know, one thinks everything's hunky-dory, the other one thinks it's not. But, yeah. So anyway, we went on this retreat. And at the end of the weekend, we ran into them again, and we were talking why we signed up for it and stuff. And she's like, because, she says, we have a good marriage. She says, but I don't want a good marriage. I want a great marriage. And there was a little light bulb inside of me that went ding. And it's like, that's all I ever wanted, was a great marriage. You know, that person that was beside you no matter what, that was helpful with the kids, that was just, you know, the pillar of the family. In talking with my spouse, it's like, how could you not want this? How could you not make your marriage the focal point of your life? You know, it's kind of like playing tag team on WWE, you know, the Worldwide Wrestling Federation. Maybe it is 3 W's, whatever it is. You know, when they do the tag team matches and there's somebody waiting on the sidelines while this person does all the work, and then when they're exhausted or tired or just, you know, can't do it, then they tag the other person jumps in and takes over. That's what a marriage should be. That right there is what a marriage should be. You should tag team your partner. You should always know where your partner is. You should always know how your partner is doing. So, had another in-depth conversation with my husband, and I was like, you know, I don't understand. Like, how could you be married and not? It's so hard to explain this without putting myself out there. Like, you know, how can you not put your spouse first and your family second and everything else last? It's God's spouse family. I know that. It just, you know, for reference, you know, how can you don't, you know, and those people that, you know, on their wedding invitations, I'm marrying my friend today. And I always thought about that. I was like, I never thought I was marrying my best friend. Never. Maybe that was my problem. Maybe I should have found somebody I was best friends with and, you know, went from there. But it's almost 30 years now. It's a little late for that. You know, but in talking to him, he was like, he goes, I just didn't know what I wanted. You know, he goes, I didn't realize that that is what I wanted. And I'm like, this is a hard fix for us, you know? And there's so much into it, you know. I'm not saying he's to blame. I'm not saying I'm to blame. I'm not saying he's more to blame. You know, but, and then there's people running around getting married left and right. People I thought, like, there's no way, you know, like, that guy's nuts, or she's that crazy, or, you know, but they find people to marry, and it's just like, woohoo, we're married. I want to get into the minds of people and be like, is that really how it works? You know? And then I watched this YouTube couple on YouTube, and well, they just seem so connected. Do you know what I mean? So connected. It's crazy. You know, when my cousin got married, she's quite a bit younger than me. And they always ask, you know, give them some pointers for a good marriage or whatever. And I'm like, I think the advice I told her was something along the lines of, marriage is like your dream job, right? You put all this prep into it. You pick out the perfect outfit, all the accessories, you know, it's a big thing. Okay? It's your dream job interview, right? And you go through the motions, and whether the kids pull the decorations down or not, or the punch is flat, or, you know, the groomsman makes a stupid speech, it's your dream job and it's the interview, and at the end of the night, you are Mrs. Whoever you chose to be. But even dream jobs come with complications and problems and issues that arise that you didn't foresee. And you have to work through that, and you have to be conscious and considerate that that's another person with feelings right beside you in this journey you're supposed to do together at the same pace. It's so aggravating to be sitting here thinking about this and look back and go, what a jackass! And he knows this. He knows it. He doesn't know I'm telling you this, so don't tell him I told you this. But, you know, he knows this. We've been talking. And, you know, so it's just, I don't know. What do people think of marriage? What do you think it is? You know? It's not just a contract that you're going to live together and pay bills together and get a tax deduction. That's not what it is. It's work. It's daily, 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 daily work. And you know what happens if you don't work at it? Somebody's tank is full, somebody's tank is empty, and when there's nothing left to give, then this person gets pissy. But if this tank isn't filled, it's really their selfishness that has caused that. Yeah. Maybe this isn't a good topic for a soap channel. I'm sorry. This ain't really a soap channel, is it? Because we're doing roses and rose hips and everything roses today. I don't know. Tell me your opinion about marriage. But yeah, what is marriage to you? What does it mean? I mean, in reality, it should be easy, but there are those speed bumps. You know, I think in any good marriage, there are speed bumps and there are arguments, but that's what makes a good marriage, and going the extra mile makes a great marriage. Okay, sorry, roses, rose hips, rosebuds, everything roses. Today, we're doing something out of the ordinary, out of my comfort zone, but it was fun, okay? It was fun. It was just for kicks, just for the whole roses and rose hips and something different. We are doing incense cones. I seriously kid you not. We are doing incense cones, and they are crazy. They're kind of fun. Be very careful though, because they can cause people with lung issues to have, you know, an asthma attack or something. You know, be careful. This is just for fun. So anyway, 3 things. Dream big. Be true to you. You are worth it. And so is your marriage. Oh, the things we will do on this channel. Okay, very basics. Rose petals and tulsi leaves and are going in my spice grinder to be ground up. Okay, you need it as a powder. So any botanical powder will work. This is very versatile. You can change this up to almost anything. You can even put resins in there. Okay, if you wanted some pine resin, but it's gotta be a powder, so don't forget that. Okay, I'm going for about a tablespoon, is what I was making. And then you need a botanical gum demulcent or other substance to glue them together. I am using marshmallow root for that. Yeah, we're doing a couple things with marshmallow root, aren't we? So half a teaspoon to my tablespoon of my other powders. And then we're going to mix it up. You want to mix it up till it's totally incorporated, okay? And somebody's calling me. So you want to stir them till they're totally, completely mixed together. Okay? Totally together. And then we're going to add just a small amount of water. Okay? Now, if you don't want water or if you want a mixture, you can add water and you can add some essential oils to this. Anything liquid, okay? Not milk, guys. Water, something, because remember you're going to burn it. So I'm just adding like a little, what is that, 1/4 of a teaspoon? They say 5 to 10 drops at a time, and you want to mash it together firmly and keep mashing till you can make a dough. One little catch here, make sure they're safe botanicals. If you have somebody with asthma or emphysema, they're probably not going to appreciate this at all. My son chewed me out because I was burning it for my video, and he doesn't like incense at Christmas even, like in the churches and stuff. It really bothers my 2 kids with asthma. So, just so you know, there are drawbacks to this. Make sure it's safe to, a botanical that's safe to burn. I don't know any that are not safe to burn. Maybe if you burned mullein, maybe that would help his asthma, but I don't know. So anyway, I'm not adding any essential oils to this, just my water, okay? Okay, and when you get it to where it's sticking together, mine probably needed a little more water. It could have used a little more water. That's all I have to say. Now, I was reading some tips, and somebody said use a piping cone, for piping frosting. Yeah, stick it in there and then put a hole down the center with a toothpick while it's in there before you pop it out. And I guess it burns better. But that's okay. This was my first shot at this, and I thought I did pretty good. I was impressed that they actually turned out into little cones. So my 1 tablespoon made 4 small cones. You don't want fat. Well, mine are kind of fat on the bottom. You want tall, skinny, thin cones to the best of your ability, Yeah, see, I was like, maybe it needs a little more water. Just so you don't want it runny, but you want it doughy. But not like kind of cookie doughy, but, so it sticks together. I mean, I guess this is one of those things where it's a pinch of this and a pinch of that, and you really want the recipe, but it's just depends on your herbs, how much they soak up, and, right? So, after you get them all shaped, I'm redoing this one. After you get them all shaped, we are going to let them dry for 5 to 7 days. You can bake them in the oven. I did one of them at 170 degrees for about 15 minutes. He came out okay. So that's what they looked like when they were wet. Interesting, huh? And so you need sand. They do. They put out some heat. You need some sand. And then you need to, maybe a torch would have been better. I should have borrowed my son's torch for his bull rope. You want to get that tip hot. You want it to burn, like a good 5 seconds. So you get that, when you have a punk for a fireworks, and the tip just glows, and you blow on it and it glows more. That's what we want. That's what we're looking for here. Okay? So I got smart and used my husband's lighter. But you want it to glow. You want that end to glow for for 5 seconds or something like that. And eventually they did get lit. and they stayed lit, and my son came in and he's like, what the heck is that smell? I guess they just don't enjoy incense like I do. But yeah, but you want sand on the bottom of the glass dish because they produce some massive heat. Look at the bottom of it. It's coming out the bottom, you guys. Can you see that? Like, it's coming out the bottom. They have a special name for those. That, I guess there are some that they have special little stands, and they come out the bottom. Isn't that cool? I'm so impressed with myself right now. Yep, there's my dirt. I put dirt in there so it wouldn't, Safety first, guys. Safety first. Sand is good. Make sure it's level. It should burn out all the way. It was so cool. I was so impressed with myself. And it smelled like incense. It smelled like botanicals. Really crazy. But remember, burn it safely. Burn it away from children and pets and all that jazz. And you know the drill. I hope you had a good time. Thank you for dropping by. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.